Hi, I'm John Hornick. Welcome to my Impress Your Date series. This is open-faced chicken and oyster po' boy with Sriracha Remoulade. The po' boy is the pride of New Orleans. It's basically a sandwich with deep-fried ingredients, like oysters. My version, which is sure to impress your date, combines fried chicken and fried oysters, your favorite coleslaw, and my Sriracha Remoulade. The bread is also important. New Orleans po' boys use a great local bread. I use personal-sized brioche buns, which I hollow out to make room for more chicken and oysters. Oh, and I add bacon. Everything's better with bacon. And I amp up the presentation by serving it open-faced. So let's start cooking. Okay, now here are our main ingredients. We have a dozen oysters. These are about medium-sized oysters. They've been shucked and they have been drained of their extra liquid. I kept that to use in a stock or a soup later on. Also, I have here, these are 3 chicken breasts. They're relatively small chicken breasts. If you have large chicken breasts, just use 2. And, you know, we're making for 2 tonight, so if you have extra pieces, eat them tomorrow. Now, I've cut these into pieces that are about 3/4 inch to 1 inch. And now what we're going to do is sprinkle everything with my anything rub. That is a separate lesson in my sauces to die for series, and we're just going to do kind of a, you know, a medium sprinkle of the rub, and then we're going to toss the chicken pieces in the rub. And toss the oysters in the rub. Okay, now what we're going to do is marinate the chicken and the oysters in buttermilk. And what we're going to do is we're going to make sure they're all coated, and then we're going to put them in the refrigerator covered for at least 1 hour. I'm probably going to have them in there for more like 3 or 4 hours. Okay, now we're going to mix up our flour for dredging. I'm going to start with about a cup of flour. I don't want to make any more than I have to make. If I need more, I'll make more later. So we've got about a cup of flour there. We're going to add some salt to it. I'm probably adding about a teaspoon of salt. Then we're going to add some coarsely ground black pepper. Again, probably about a teaspoon of that. And then we're going to add some garlic powder. In my opinion, you can never have too much garlic. I'm adding about a teaspoon, maybe a little more. Okay, and we're going to mix that up thoroughly, and we're going to use this to dredge the chicken pieces and the oysters. And again, like I said, I don't want to make any more than I have to make. I don't want to waste any more flour. Waste flour I'm not going to, that I'm not going to use. So if I need to make any more, I'll make it when I'm doing the dredging. But I think I probably have enough here. Okay, now we're going to make our remoulade sauce, and I have here about a half a cup of mayonnaise. This is Kraft light mayonnaise. I have a separate bonus lesson on making mayonnaise, but it's best to make mayonnaise fresh if you're going to use it immediately and use it all up because it has raw eggs in it. I may not use all this up. I may save some and use it later, so I'm going to use store-bought mayonnaise, and I kind of like the Kraft light, but use any mayonnaise that you like. We're going to add to that about 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, and I'm just eyeballing that. We're going to add about 2 teaspoons of sweet relish, about 1.5 teaspoons of minced capers, about 1 teaspoon of chopped chives, and about 1 teaspoon of chopped parsley, fresh parsley. I'm going to use about a half a teaspoon of anchovy paste, and I'm going to somewhat measure that. I don't want to overdo it because it's very salty stuff. But you can see that's not exact, right? So that's roughly half a teaspoon. And then we're going to put in about a teaspoon of Sriracha chili sauce. And again, I'm going to eyeball that. Okay, Then we want to mix that up well. Okay, let's taste that. Very good. Okay. Now remoulade, you know, is a French sauce, but there's no perfect single recipe for it. If you do some research, you'll find a lot of different recipes out there, a lot of variations. Almost all of them have chopped pickles in it. I use sweet pickle relish instead, and most of them have capers in it as well. But you can let your imagination be your guide. If you want to add more of any of these ingredients, feel free to do it. If you want to add something else, feel free to do that. But if you leave out the pickles, I'm not sure it's a remoulade. Okay, now let's bring our chicken and oysters to room temperature, and at the same time we're going to turn on the heat on the canola oil and bring it up to 350 degrees. All right, the temperature of our oil is about 350. I'm going to let it go to about 360 because when we put the proteins in there, temperature is going to drop. I want to keep it right around 350. So what I'm going to do now is put the oysters into the flour and get them well coated. Now you can put them directly into the oil. I'm just putting them into this other bowl so that I can carry them over to where the oil is. All right, we're just going to drop the oysters into the oil, one or two at a time, and we're going to let them deep fry until they are golden. Okay, they looks beautiful. We're going to drain these onto brown paper. Take them out with a slotted spoon. And then we're going to make sure the temperature is at 350 before we put in the chicken. Now there weren't as many oysters, so I did them basically in one batch. But I'm going to do the chicken in at least 2 batches. Now we're going to dredge the chicken pieces, shaking off the extra buttermilk and putting them into the flour mixture, and we're going to get them all coated. I'm going to do you know, some at a time, not all of them at the same time because there are too many of them. So we're going to toss them in the flour, and then transfer them to the other bowl, and then put some more in the flour and repeat until they're all coated with flour. We're going to add some chicken pieces to the oil. I'm going to do like, I don't know, like 6 or 7 at a time. See, these are beautiful. Okay, we're going to drain them onto brown paper, crumpled brown paper. Okay, our temperature is just above 350, so we're going to put in the next batch. Okay, so we're going to take these out. They've been in there about 3 or 4 minutes. They're nice and golden. We'll let them drain on brown paper. And we want to make sure our oil gets back up to temperature before we do the next batch. Okay, it's time to plate. We have our brioche butterflied on a plate here, and it's been carved out, so we have more room for the goodies. Okay, then we're going to add some coleslaw to both sides that have been shelled out. Okay, now we're going to top with a mixture of oysters and chicken. Now we want to add some remoulade. Garnish with bacon. Okay, that is the open-faced chicken and oyster po' boy with coleslaw, Sriracha Remoulade, bacon on a brioche. You can see photos of the final dish on my Instagram, which is at Chef's Apprentice, Cook Like a Pro. Please remember to subscribe to my channel and have a great day.